Hello, Commander.
It's really hot. Can you read me? Am I coming through okay? Can you hear me, Commander? It's so hot. Oh God. It is so hot. Alright, perfect. Hello and welcome to this very special episode of Nerdy Overanalyze, where we look at Combined Arms. The Combined Arms stream that we've delayed for like a month. Hello, Sven Vanderplank. Thank you for stopping by. Mr. Sven Vanderplank is sort of a Battletech historian. I think he stopped by earlier today. Hello, Bob Not Bob. Hello, Just In Case. Hello, Shadow of Steel. Hello, Xanius Maximus. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your commander hat. Hello, Jack Volkert. Hello, the God of Muffins. Hello, Greenbrier07, Dirk Flanagan, Demon Jazz, and Matt Kelly again. Hey, Matt Kelly, good to see you. Angry Skeleton Pope. Will you be discussing the new Combined Arms rules for the Mercenary Kickstarter? There's new rules? All I have is the Total Warfare book. Goth Medusa knows nothing about Combined Arms. I'm excited. I'm excited too. The only experience I have with Combined Arms really is playing it in Megamech and kind of briefly going through the rules. So this will be kind of like an initial grading or initial sort of reaction to all the Combined Arms units in the game that are available from Zodal Rats. So we're going to go through all of them. Ernest Young, you are not late. Good day. We used lots of tanks back in the day. Oh, interesting. Rubis, Team Cover Tank here. I was today years old when I found out what Wigs was. Luigi, hello. Good to see you again. Sven Vanderplank. Yeah, he released a new video. I saw it in my timeline. I haven't whatchamacallit again. I guess he finally got done with the Star League stuff, and then he started in the first Secession War. So I guess he's going linearly, which is interesting. If you're into National Geographic-y type stuff, I'd invite you to check him out. Yep. Long form history guy, but more real history, not like funny history like text. Yeah. Different. They cover different like subjects. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot that I was doing today. What was I doing today? I was recording some songs for a different project. But yeah, glad to be back into Battletech. Let's see. Where is my little let's go to the slideshow. Yeah. As you can see, my battery was dying, so I had to quickly like get up Mr. PNG Auto there. I still don't know if we have enough juice to get us through the stream today, but we will try. Let's see here. As we go through these, don't be afraid to ask. I'm not sure I know all the answers to all the questions, since this is my very first kind of look slash playthrough or first reaction to formally looking at all these Combined Arms units. Slime songs. I don't know. This is from the this track is from the Aviators. They have like a free I don't know, whole album that they released, and so I just downloaded it and playing it. Didn't get tagged last stream, so I'm assuming it's okay. The Mercenary Kickstarter Combined Arms rules are based off of the Combined Arms rules in the Battle of Tukid Chaos Campaign rules. Totally change how they work, but they're optional. Notable thing that medium lasers have the potential to kill whole platoons of infantry. Really interesting. So that changes. That would actually change quite a bit of the math, I guess, that I am currently like thinking of. By the way, is the background? Can you hear like the fan? Is the fan like just wrecking your ear holes? If not, I can kind of turn it down. But it is hot over here. My ice cream is melting. I was surprised how many combat vehicles were in Sarna. If you add all the infantry plus aerospace, you're gonna be here for a while. Yeah, I think I think this time we're gonna probably split it up. I'm gonna cover infantry, VTOLs, and tanks today, and then we'll briefly touch on aerospace and artillery. I have some interesting ideas that maybe are counter to what some people might want. But I think either way is probably a valid way of playing BattleTech. I'm not going to be covering when I say every unit, I mean every unit in Zodal Rats. Zodal Rats, if you're not aware, is a free download on Sarna, and it shows what vehicles and what mechs are common in both frequency and by faction. So it's very, very useful. But yeah, I'm aware that there are like thousands upon thousands of combined arms units, but we're just going to cover the ones from 3025 that are commonly available to all the factions. Aero or conventional fighters are separate. Okay, so as we start off in this conversation, that's a good starting point. As we start off in this conversation, I think that we have to be careful. Okay, so I think the big issue I see with combined arms is that you can cheese, and you can cheese pretty hard. So adds a cheese factor. And by cheese, I mean, like, it's just not fun to play against. You just, like, go all in on a concept, and then you just wreck noobs, right? You just basically wreck newbies who are not prepared. So, for example, EX, like, 40 infantry. And they have no response. So if in a way you can kind of, yeah, you can just make the game you can make the game not fun. And that's my biggest concern when playing with combined arms, when starting combined arms, that if you're not aware of what's OP, I'm pretty sure you can break the game. Also, there is a point where it's not really about the mechs anymore. So if you have a list like all infantry / tanks / arrow, you can just take like an all infantry tanks arrow list and just kind of find what's overpowered or front loaded and make it not fun. So at what point does Battletech kind of not become Battletech anymore, right? At what point is it not about the mechs and we're just playing like some kind of future sci-fi game? And to me, that's a legitimate way to play. But it's probably not as fun for me. Yeah. So there has to be, at least in my opinion, there has to be some kind of balance. Like, at what point does it not become fun? Yeah, it's like Savannah Master spam and spammed under combined arms rules. They can spam en masse and become insanely unfun. Tar pitting with cheap infantry is a real thing and it sucks. Yep. Too many combined arms. Yeah, so there has to be some kind of, like, I'm sure it would be fun if you and your opponent kind of agreed on what the rules were and were familiar with it. But there's a lot of opportunity to just make it unfun. For both you and your opponent, and it's just like you just table him, right? And it just feels not fun. Yeah, Bubba's Big Blast, you fought against aerospace hordes. Yep. New combined arms rules in the Kickstarter are more mech centric, so you probably like those more. Yeah, I think I'm of the opinion that Battletech is about the mechs. I think Battletech should be focused on mechs, and that's what drew me into Battletech. If I wanted to play like a true combined arms experience, I'd probably play like a World War II game, Bolt Action, or what's that other one by Two Fat Lardies. Would be preferable to me playing just like a combined arms list. Like, for example, if someone said, hey, let's play like with tanks and infantry, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's play that World War II game by Two Fat Lardies, rather than Battletech. I think Battletech is about kind of futuristic mechs, but we should cover it just to be thorough. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Yeah, so their combo is definitely Star Strike. I would agree. Like 2 lances of SRM carriers, 1 lance of LRM carrier. They're definitely like really good combos. In terms of like what is good, and we can go through that. Yeah, Flames of War scale. Yeah, it becomes sort of like World War II, Flames of War, bolt action slash. There's that one game by Two Fat Lardies, that I really enjoyed, where you play like combined arms and stuff. Yeah, I do think like there are times for it where, you know, if your opponent, you're playing like some kind of story scenario and you're just running over like a lance of tanks or like 2 lances of tanks, it's fine. But if you're getting to like tournament play and like, you know, you get stuff that just like, oh yeah, here's my all arrow list, or oh yeah, here's my tanks and LRM spam list, or here's my like, you know, 4 demolishers hiding behind a hill and supported by, you know, a helicopter spotter and just a bunch of LRM carriers, and you just get tabled, right? It's not interesting to me, and that's part of the reason why I stepped away from 40k. Lardies have great rules. Yeah, I like the Two Fat Lardies. Anyway, so this is the big like warning label, I guess. And to me, when I see aerospace and artillery, I kind of almost want to go. I almost want to use this as a off-table like asset. I kind of like the combined arms cards. I just feel like it puts the focus on the more on the mechs. And simplifies and makes newbie friendly. Basically, less feels bad. I wasted 2 hours getting tabled. Kind of things. The combined arms cards I saw in I think it was the more generic version of the game, and I think there are some rules in the Total Warfare book, but that's what I would prefer. I know that there are rules with Arrow and Arty, and generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of castling in a corner. I mean, it's fun when you're the one doing it, or where it's relatively easy to break in, but you can really like how do you say? You can really go too far with it, and it becomes not interesting. Where it's just your opponent is just charging in, and you're just kind of gunning him down. I think when you play a game, and especially when you're playing a game like Battletech that takes a long time to resolve, I think you generally should play the interesting parts of the battle. So like after the artillery strikes are done, and after like the support stuff, and then you play like the most interesting bit where the battle lines are coming together. I mean, you could play it, maybe you do that like once or twice where you're playing with like a full for artillery, but not a huge fan. Battle armor is still fun to have a bit of fun. Artillery is fun as a soft objective. Yeah, problems can happen quickly beyond that. Yeah, I do think, yeah, I think having like a attack this artillery battery would be like an interesting scenario, but not as like a, hey, I'm showing up to the gaming club and I'm playing against this guy that runs a whole ass battery of artillery, and like he just constantly, I constantly have to just attack him in a corner. Doesn't seem fun to me. It might be fun like once or twice, but not all the time. Combined arms might be better for narrative scenarios. Yeah, it might. I think you'd have to be careful with it. Would be my knee-jerk reaction. What is a combined arms card? They're in the more simplified version of the rules. The ones with the cards. I've seen them. You have like a little card and you play it, and then it looks like you just like throw a template on there, and then it just like bombs an area. Or like I've seen like some of the minefield rules, where if you step on a mine, it does damage. It's kind of hidden. So stuff like that. Just play the card. There does seem to be, I will say, with Arrow, There does seem to be some kind of rock, paper, scissors going on. Where Aero beats mechs. Anti-air beats Aero. Or I should say not Aero, not air, just air. Air beats mechs, anti-air beats air, and then mechs beat anti-air. So like, yeah, there seems to be like a rock, paper, scissors. And if your opponent's not aware of the rock, paper, scissors, then it just kind of sucks, right? And I think it's hard. I'm not a game designer, but I think it'd be a bit hard to balance all this stuff together. Because then maybe you're like forced to play. If you want to play mechs, then you're forced to take some anti-air. And then maybe the meta becomes, because your opponent has anti-air, then you don't take air. And then what's the point? Then you're just like wasting points on taking anti-air, and both players are not taking. Yeah, it just becomes weird. Yeah, maybe limit it to like 60% mechs, 33% other. Yeah, something like that. Some kind of rule like that. That might be like a good starting point, right? Angry Skeleton Pope. If you want to, I am in the MRC Discord. If you want to find that, you can just throw it into the MRC Discord, and then do the @. Yeah. Clan Banes versus Arrow only lists. Yep. I think it's just a lot of feels bads moments. Alpha Strike. Yeah. Alpha Strike. Yep. Combined Arms is okay for company level encounters. Yeah, it might be okay. Yeah, like, yeah, if you're playing like really high BVs, then it might be interesting to explore. But in kind of like Lance vs Lance or 6-on-6 might be a little cheesy. Anyway. So those are my thoughts on Aero and Artillery, and if people really want me to go into it, I probably can, but I probably won't. It's not something that I'd want to regularly play with, at least for now. All right, so let's take a look at infantry. I think the notes with infantry are generally, when I looked at it, it was low mobility, high tankiness, high defense. And then high offense, but limited range. Were generally my thing. So they move like one hex, right? And then the jump infantry can move, I think, 2 or 3 hexes. And then they have high defense because they're resistant to a lot of different types of attacks. Like lasers only kill like one guy, and they're like 28 guys in a platoon, 20 to 28 guys in a platoon. And then they have generally high offense. Let's take a look at looking at the conventional infantry. This is from Total Warfare. When I'm looking at this, and I'll blow it up. Let me blow it up a little bit more. When I'm looking at this, I'm kind of know that because my guys are low mobility, they move like about one hex. I want kind of a longer range weapon, so my initial thoughts are I probably wouldn't take the ballistic rifle or the machine gun, or the flamer really, to attack mechs. I probably want the SRM or the energy rifle or the LRM, because they're so immobile, and then I probably spam them. So then the next thing I wanted to do was look at the generic infantry damage table. And then I kind of studied it. I kind of looked at it really quick. These ballistic weapons, the ones with the low range, do the most damage. And I thought the energy rifle would be very good, but it only does about half. So I think if I was to run infantry, I would probably run just SRM infantry. Maybe LRM infantry, but yeah, I think you'd probably be better off running all SRM, all LRM, and then creating sort of like a, I don't know, how do you say it, like briar patch, or like a, just like platoons of 4, basically, or sorry, company, just use a company or 2, to deny an area. So notes. Probably use these guys as area denial. Needs some kind of transport. Use probably initial thoughts. Probably like the SRM, probably the LRM, maybe the flamer for anti-infantry. Race to a point and protect it. Probably want 4+ stand platoons. Maybe 3 to I'd say like maybe 3 platoons. Probably do maybe 3 to 6. And then just generally make it really hard. Generally make it really hard for the opponent to live, to be there. Make it very hard for opponents to move into the area. Infantry, the argument for flamers. Yep. Makes machine guns useful. Yep, correct. Assuming a full platoon with no casualties. Yeah, you're gonna take casualties, especially I think as you're moving in with your transports, and then once you're there, you know, you have the fire starter eliminating a platoon a turn. But BV wise, they're quite cheap. So I think you can probably just spam them and then just deny a whole area. So like for example, we'll see later, there are some pretty fast transports. You just race them up. Maybe you lose like a you're playing like a numbers game, right? Maybe you lose like a helicopter or two, so you lose a platoon or two, and you drop like 4 platoons onto a point, and then you have, you know, 28 times 4, so like 100 SRMs just ready to roll. Are you making custom infantry with the tech manual or taking something out of the master unit list? I'm not sure. I think if I had to make some custom infantry, maybe I'd just load them all with SRMs. I think the SRM is probably the best. SRM or the LRM is probably the better weapon out of all the ones we've looked at here. Maybe, you know, maybe some machine gun, maybe some guys with machine guns or flamers just to counter enemy infantry. If I was like, if I was playing some combined arms, but that's maybe like a starting point. I expect infantry are generally better in defensive scenarios than on offense. Yep. So you're using them to basically sit on objectives or deny like a really good piece of cover. So if there's a hill, right, like your opponent, you know your opponent wants to move to, you just zip your guys there, drop them off, and then just deny the whole hill. I just got here. Did you talk about jump infantry yet? I'm interested in those. No, I have not. My only experience with jump infantry are the clan, the elemental armors. They're quite good. The fact that they're really hard to hit. They're very, very tanky. They have jump jets, so they can move 3. Yeah, it's I would say like the battle armor or the elemental armors are very, very good. They definitely help the clans out. Because their mechs are so expensive, the armor stands are relatively cheap. So definitely take some jump infantry if you're a clan. Jump infantry are limited on what they can carry, right? I'm not, I'm playing with broad strokes here. I'm not sure exactly. I do know that jump infantry, there are fewer of them per stand, so you can take like, I think 21 or something like that, or 18. Bring some Inferno rounds on your SRM infantry. Best of both worlds. Yeah, that's true, actually. If we look at the defense, this is like kind of like a defense table, or like what they take damage from. We can see that they don't take very much damage from battle mech physical attacks or energy. So you're doing the total damage divided by 10. So if you hit them with a large laser, right, it kills one guy. Pulse is slightly better. You're doing two kills plus however much damage you do. But your best bet are the burst fire, right? So you're killing 4d6 infantry with a single shot from a flamer. You're killing 2d6 with a machine gun. And then one other thing that I did see is the Javelin 10N. I'm actually going through a couple of faction lists right now. Oh, I should slide over. I'm going through some faction lists right now, and there's actually not enough fire starters per regiment to equip everyone, have like a full lance of fire starters. So my recommendation would be to group your fire starters with javelins, and load 1 ton of ammunition on that javelin with make them Inferno rounds. So 1 ton of Inferno, 1 ton of regular. And that'll help against infantry, right? And it will help against it'll help reduce the amount of return fire you take by threatening kind of hotter mechs with an Inferno hit. In our Merc campaign, we chose Ribless PQR. In our mercenary campaign, we chose not to have unarmored infantry because we didn't want to have lots of people dying, much less of a concern for government. I think in a mercenary campaign, I think having some kind of unarmored infantry as an opposing force, as an op 4, might be a good idea. But I think generally in a Merc campaign, you'd probably want your guys to be either in mechs, ideally, or tanks. But yeah, I think it'd be hard to be pretty hard to have a mercenary campaign RPG as an infantry guy. That might be a little scary. IS jump infantry standardized at 21 platoon, move 3 on jump, but lack ability to carry heavy support weapons. Ah, I see. Yeah, the thing I did see during the battle, the fight I had last stream with Pirate, was that because the platoons are height 1, they can hide behind low hills, which I forgot about, but it's quite strong, so they're a little bit more ambushy. L-arm infantry sound like a great wide area of denial. Yep, park them on a hill on your side and force the enemy to waste moves chasing them down. Yeah, or you could, I mean, they just create like a 9 hex attack bubble or like a 6 hex attack bubble. I think ideally you'd want to be shooting, you probably want to be shooting, yeah, 6 hex attack bubble, and then the SRMs are creating like a 4 hex attack bubble. So it depends on the size of bubble you want to create. I generally don't think you're gonna want to be shooting on 4s. Probably want to be shooting on 2+. So maybe LRM, SRM, LRM would be decent choices, I think. With the Inferno rounds, every missile that strikes a non-conventional infantry unit automatically eliminates 3 troopers. So Javelin 10N with Inferno rounds seems to be a pretty good answer. For packing a little bit of anti-infantry punch. Okay. Let's move on to VTOLs. So VTOLs are like the basically the helicopters, right? And just looking at the table, initial thoughts, like this is the attack direction. You can get hit on the right or left sides a lot easier. They have this thing called that appears to be like rotor HP. So if they lose their rotor, they die. And then there's a motive system damage. So with the motive system damage, I believe it is on the. I know it's on the tanks. Here, let's move to the tanks. I think they're a little easier to understand. I think it's on these daggers. Yeah, the vehicle may suffer a motive system damage. So on 3s, 4s, 9s, and 5s, they can suffer motive system damage. And then the motive system damage is like, they lose driving skill rolls. They become more, they slow down, basically, and they kind of park. So the trick with these tanks and these VTOLs seems to be just hitting them. So it's more number of hits. Yeah, LBXs, yep. More number of hits than pure damage to kind of take these guys out. And then they're a little bit harder to hit. Helicopters don't work on moons. Correct, they do not work on moons. There are only a few VTOLs. And one of the things I actually kind of liked about the newer Mech Warrior games, Mech Warrior and Battletech games, is that they eliminated a lot of the unnecessary or like copied units. Like this guy's a scout, so maybe you only need like 1 scout helicopter or 1 scout tank, really. I don't think you need like any more than that. Anyway, this guy's got no armor, right? But it moves 23. So it is like a scout slash spotter. So first introduced as House Davion troops in 2901. The vehicle serves as an advanced scout with its ability to monitor enemy troop movements and radio and artillery strikes. So maybe you're just using this as just a pure spotter. Yep, one guy to spot for the LRMs. Or you could just probably take two, right? Like the BV is 58, so it's super cheap. So maybe you just take 2 ferrets for 116 BV, park them into the 2 corners, and then just raise them up in the height, and then just have them spot. I think the same thing can be done with a lot of these guys. Let's take a look at the Peregrine. Peregrine. So this guy's a little different, I guess. Still super cheap in the BV. Well, actually kind of not. 344. It's got 2 machine guns and 2 SRM4s. I mean, it's got some damage, I guess. Can never heat up. 15 internal heat sinks. You can load it with either regular ammo or Infernos and just kind of go for back hits. Seems annoying to deal with. Piranhas work very well against tanks. VTOLs don't actually have to be helicopters. They can be jet rocket fusion drives as well, but the rotor section is basically your main drive section. So, yeah. I mean, that's the Peregrine. One of the 2 VTOLs built by Blackwell's Wolf Dragoons. Despite its high speed, it wasn't very successful because of its high price, low maneuverability, and unreliable components. Is this low maneuverability for a VTOL? 12? That's as fast as a Locust. Any vehicle with a fusion engine really should have at least 3 medium lasers for those free heat sinks. Yep, I think so too. Inferno VTOL with dealing with the infantry? Yeah, I think so. I think that's good. A good take. I probably would look at that too. Warrior. So this is like kind of the standard helicopter. I'm sure you've seen it in the MechWarrior 5 games if you play with them. First produced in 2950, the Warrior attack helicopter is a common sight across the inner sphere, serving as a highly mobile fire support unit. So as I was kind of looking through this, I think I would probably want to collect, if I had to collect some combined arm stuff, it would probably be kind of the common sight, quote unquote, across the inner sphere, or like the available to all factions units, so I could pretty much play anything. So let's take a look at this guy. This guy. Has, again, no armor, 914, so actually slower than the Peregrine. I don't know why they're saying it was a slow mech. And then weapons-wise, SRM4 and AC2. This is more of like a, I mean, with the AC2, you're targeting tanks, maybe to do motive hits. BV's pretty low, 295, but again, you have your ferret at 58, so maybe you would just take the ferret and then just park it in a corner. If you're really trying to just be cheesy, just 2 ferrets in a corner, one in each corner, right? But yeah, I mean, 300. I don't think you're really ever attacking with this thing. It's probably more of a spotter. Let's take a look. There's one with an AC5, and there's one with an LRM-10. Maybe actually the one with the LRM-10 might be worth taking. SRM4 and an LRM-10 are your 2 options. But other than that, I mean, there's not really much to say, right? Just don't be that guy with 27 Savannah Masters. Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. The Warrior would be so much better if it had energy weapons. Yep, I agree. I agree with you. There is one more, I think, and this is the Karnov. This is probably the VTOL that you would want to use if you're using infantry. So the Karnov transport. Skirt here. Very, very cheap unit. I would say probably mandatory. You know, you're gonna use this or an APC to move your troops around. But it has carrying capacity of 6 tons, so I think it can carry like a platoon and change. So you're just basically tacking on 125 BV to any kind of infantry platoon you take that's going to be moving forward. Movement's 11-17, so you just zip it up the board turn 1, and then just take a point, right? On turn 1 or turn 2 with your 1 or 2 companies of infantry. The AC2 one is alright because it stays out of range and everything. Yeah, I think that would be like the one time I would probably take the AC2 because the warrior's so lightly armored. Probably just take the AC2 and sit in a corner. You haven't lived until you paradrop jumping battle armor out of a Karnov. The Rack 5 yellow jacket. I have heard rumors about the Hornet / yellow jacket. There is an optional rule for infantry to dig in. They gain a bonus cover and can do it on any non-built text. That makes them even tankier, I guess. The only combined arms I've ever used is battle armor hanging onto my MX. I think battle armor is fine in terms of like as far as combined arms rules go. I don't know if I would even consider it combined arms, although it is technically. But when people say like combined arms, I think of, you know, some of like kind of these bonus rules. Can pretty much carry any type of platoon, including mechanized. Yep. So I think if you're running infantry, you probably would be best off just equipping everything with every platoon in a Karnov. AC2 warrior just feels like it can just sit and pop gun under. Yep, pretty much just sit in the back and just plink away at your enemy's combined arms. Try and cause, you know, rotary hits or motive damage. Probably don't target mechs because it's not going to do anything. Yep. So those are the VTOLs. The ones that stand out to me, I mean, Karnov, obviously, for the infantry. Maybe the Ferret, if you're being cheesy, you want to do 58, have something for 58 BV. And then the Warriors would seem like the standard way to go. If it were me, I'd probably just take Warriors instead of Ferrets. Oh, there is a gunship version of the Karnov, I believe. There's also an AC-20 version of the Karnov, apparently. So you can take a Karnov with a AC-20, or you can take a Karnov with a load of machine guns. This one actually might not be bad if you're using, like, if you expect to go up against infantry. You have 2, 4, 6, 8 machine guns. So this would be just attacking other infantry, right? You could take an attack Karnov. That seems... Or go for rears even, because you're still moving at 11-17. Actually, I might probably run some machine gun Karnovs. Okay, let's do some notes here. So I like actually kind of like Karnov. I don't think the AC-21 seems cheese, but infantry transport or the 8 machine guns for anti-infantry. So maybe one setup might be 4 platoons plus 4 Karnov, plus 2 MG Karnov. Might be like a pretty cheap formation, 4 to 8, something like that. The problem with the Karnov is it's civilian and almost unarmored. Is it civilian? I thought it's a military troop transport, right? A reliable and hardy machine, all the successor state armed forces and many mercenary units apply Karnovs for supply and logistics missions. Many commercial firms also use the machine for local transportation of cars. I guess it's commercial and military use. There's a Karnov with an artillery piece. The machine guns are a pair with every facing. 2 to bird. Many platoons are 3 tons. Ah, okay. Yeah, so maybe you can even cheap out. So 2 to 4 Karnovs in that case. That seems like a decent loadout, and then these things like kind of strafe into rear armor. That seems really annoying, actually, having machine guns in you. But yeah, they are front, rear, left. So maybe it needs to land in the middle of everything and just shoot in the middle of an enemy infantry company and just shoot. Yep. Okay. I guess we'll move on to any questions about Aero and VTOLs and stuff. Too bad there are no rules that make tilt rotor VTOLs into slow-moving aerospace units. What the heck? You want helicopters in space? Is that what you want? You don't want to land with a VTOL because you get -4 for immobile. There must be rules for them jumping out, right? Do you get -4 for jumping out? Or does it have to stay still on the turn you jump out? That would kind of suck, but I guess, I mean, I don't think you really have a choice. Okay, I guess we'll move on to tanky boys now. Too bad Spamarai's not here. Spamarai really loves tanks. I want transforming helicopters in space, like the middle season of Robotech. Foot infantry must dismount from landed. Paratroopers or jump infantry can hop out of airborne ones. Ah, okay. So I'm assuming you pay a little bit more for paratroopers. I guess at that point it becomes like a BV calculation. If you don't want to land, you got to remember to pack parachutes. Otherwise, your infantry won't be useful after the drop. Okay. So maybe you take... yeah, I mean, either way, it's just a risk to reward factor, I guess, if you don't mind losing your Karnovs. In a campaign setting, I guess it would be more of a factor, but in a pure just stand-up fight, you're not really worried about losing, 4 stands of infantry, and taking that -4 for immobile. Or maybe you pay for the jump infantry if it works out. I would imagine a VTOL APC would dismount their guys when not under fire. In the ideal situation, yes, but the situation is not always ideal. All right, on to tanks. Imagine not being under fire, yeah. Jump infantry are 4 tons, but foot are 3 tons. So 2 platoons if you have the time to land and dismount. 1 platoon from a flyover. I see. Optional rules let infantry to do air assault. Just use a rope and slide to the ground from a VTOL. Avoid that immobile condition. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely airborne infantry, right? Like the U.S. Army Rangers. I've seen those guys jump out of helicopters in the movies. Yeah, maybe your VTOLs just fly over and attack enemy mechs or whatever's coming in to distract. Oh no, Connor. Oh no. That is very true though, Connor. Increase the cheese factor by reducing the skill on your on armored Boxster Karnov, so you just have them as 6/6. Just have 6/6 pilots, or gunnery skill, reduce the gunnery skill. Give a quad mech jump jets and cargo space, but an infantry. Interesting. Also, welcome Spartaner. It's been a while since I've seen you. Yeah, we're gonna cover tanks next. So the thing with tanks is, again, because of these motive hits, and the high chance of causing motive hits, right? All on these little crosses, you can get motive hit. So 3s, 4s, 5s, 9s, and then the through armor crits. You may as well, what you want to do is you want to hit them with like lots of things, with like SRMs, a lot of cheap weapons, medium lasers. I think even will kind of do it. And it's easy to hit front, left, right on a mech, right? On a mech, all these front three are front sides, but on a tank it appears to be right, left side, on the on the front hexes as well. I think that'd be kind of cool if you had like a little quad mech that jumps and then has cargo space. Might be a pretty interesting concept. Quad mech with infantry sounds like an AT-AT. Why not? Why not? The motive hits kind of mean there's a limit to how much protection you can get from armor. Yeah, I think you have to play the tank basically with the understanding that eventually it will become immobile, because you're going to be taking so many motive hits. Anyway, let's move on. So the first one is the Hunter. The Hunter assault tank is a 20-wheel ton combat vehicle armed with a front-mounted PPC. Okay. Interesting. The Hunter. The Hunter light support tank. Oh, this one, maybe we got the wrong thing. It says here that the Hunter has a LRM. This one actually kind of hits hard. Okay, just kidding. The Hunter's not that. This one actually seems good. Except for the BV. But this is like a third of an LRM carrier. Got a LRM 20 and a flamer. Doesn't seem bad. 5.8 tracked. Matthew M, longtime follower, first time live watcher. Welcome in, Matthew M. Welcome to our live stream. Good of you to join us. Okay, LRM 20 and a flamer. I mean, it's just like running around as a support tank, staying in the back, maybe just taking shots when it can get them. There seems to be an LRM 10 with a machine gun version, LRM 15 with a bunch of machine guns, and just an LRM 20 with extra ammo. So just an LRM 20, carrier. BV wise, it's about half an archer, so questionable, I think. Questionable value. Scared to ambush a scout mech with a PPC tank. Yeah, I don't know why it came up like this, but this is the Hunter light support tank. It's an LRM 20, I guess. Death, have you gone over conventional fighters? There's one called the Mech Buster and AC-20 with an AC-20. I have. I did cover it at the very beginning. Maybe I should have made it clear that it was Aero and conventional fighter. But yeah, I have seen the Mech Buster with an AC-20, just a really fast plane with an AC-20. I'm not a fan. It is very strong. Very obviously very strong, right? So you're getting in the rear with an AC-20 and just plugging a mech. You can do the same, something similar with, I believe the Shadowhawk can fit an AC-20 if you do like, weird conversions and stuff. I don't know. It just seems cheesy. It just seems very, very cheesy to mount something with an AC-20 and just automatically get into backs with very little counterplay, I guess. Maybe you have a turn with your rifleman or something. Yeah, I mean, if the Shadowhawk can mount an AC-20, all it does is mount the AC-20, but you can do it in Megamech Lab. Okay, Prowler. The Prowler is a hostile exotic environment military grade exploration vehicle. So this is more of a roleplay one, I guess. Is it even in here? The Prowler. So maybe this is your, this is your like little roleplay mech, or your roleplay vehicle, or maybe like an objective. Maybe like a rescue the VIP scenario. Pretty slow, 4/6 mover. Oh, this one's got this one has pulse lasers? What? That can't be right. Anyway, there's not an entry. I guess there's not an entry in Megamech because it's used so little. But there's a Prowler multi-terrain vehicle that's supposedly Star League stuff. Ah, Secession Wars. Here it is. Here's a Secession War one. That's not right. It's not supposed to have pulse lasers. Yeah, so this is your... Okay, so this looks more like it. This is your like little role-play vehicle. You're rolling around at 4/6, and you have a bunch of cargo you can take. That's the Star League era one. Yep. The Prowler is great. It's amphibious. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can like dive underwater with it. It can, yeah. All right, yeah. LRM-10, SRM-2, 2 medium lasers, decently well armored. I don't know if I would. I mean, I might have one if I was like doing a mercenary role-playing campaign, but I don't know if I would take it as a actual, board game fighty thing. Prowler is a great design example that all 3 forward hexes should hit only the front. Yeah, it's got pretty high armor, right and left. You can substitute 1 cargo space for infantry transport. Oh, it can carry infantry. I like the limitation. Lots of cargo space split up so you can't stick big stuff into it. Yeah. Not bad. Not a bad little roleplay mech. All right, Pegasus. Oof, this one's rough. The Pegasus is a popular recon unit due to its good speed, decent armor, and respectable firepower. Found in almost all militaries having been introduced during the Secession War. This one's actually... I think this one's the first one that I actually would respect. So, 640 battle value, decent-ish armor, and kind of a wicked, loadout here. We got 2 SRM-6s and a medium laser. Opinion on the LTV4 hover tank. I don't think it was in here. If we get to the end and you're still around, Brett, we can take a look at some ones that people are interested in. But for now, I want to just get through all the ones that are in the all the ones that are in the Zoltar Rats table. But I like the Pegasus. I'm a little sad it only has 15 SRM-6 ammo. I would have liked another ton to take Infernos. That would really make it disgusting. I like the design. Design's kind of cool. I think there's some wackier designs, but yeah, like the turret, 12 SRMs in the turret, and a little small medium laser just sticking out in the front. There's a variant that changes the laser to more SRM ammo. Really? Oh! There's a cargo space one too. Holy moly. So maybe you take... Okay, this is definitely a... So there's a cargo space one with 12 tons. And then there's one with 3 SRM-6s and 2 tons of ammo. I would take this guy. The one with 3 SRM-6s and take 1 ton of regular ammo and 1 ton of Inferno. And just delete platoons with them. Pegasus ain't bad. Okay, okay. If you're still around here, Brett, we can definitely take a look at it. But there are kind of like 50 tanks that, yeah, that we have to look at first. I like this one. I would say that 3 SRM6 Pegasus is the way to go. And then maybe if you're doing infantry, I mean, you got 12 tons of cargo there. That's a bunch of platoons. Although you are putting kind of like a lot of platoons into one basket, I guess. Pegasus looks like a weird, lovable donkey. Fun shape. Yeah, it's a little, I don't know, turtle guy floating around, little bottom feeder stingray looking thing. Introduce standardized tech in new lore. I think the Pegasus is doable. Connor Fletcher, welcome to Commander. Oh, you're like the first one to trigger the, you're the first one, Connor, to trigger the text-to-speech. Congratulations. I think there's a text-to-speech on $2 supers or more, but you don't have to. But welcome. I hope you enjoy the behind-the-scenes posts and the behind-the-scenes post and the what was it? Early access to videos. Hovercraft on tabletop. Weapons meh. I'm gonna ram legs with him. Dude, this guy's good though. The Pegasus with 3 SRM6s. Can you imagine? That's so much heat. And it can hit anything. It moves faster than a Locust too. It moves as fast as a Locust with hover. It's a Locust with 3 SRM6s. What do you want? The Pegasus is pretty fun in Mega Mech. You can move 8 forward and backward and keep a good movement modifier to evade the enemy. Yeah, I mean, this seems good. This seems good. Pegasus good. All right, let's move on. The Pack Rat. The Pack Rat is a speedy 8-wheeled vehicle that is designed for deep infiltration and sabotage. Meant to operate on its own behind enemy lines for an extended period of time. Okay, so the Pack Rat. Jeez. This one kind of packs a punch too. I thought it was just going to be like some dinky little thing. The Pack Rat. 1 ton of troop carrying capacity. 2 tons of SRM ammo. And a rear flamer. That's weird. Rear flamer. It's more expensive than a Javelin, though. Correct. But you get another SRM6. Also, welcome, Jun Peel. Pack Rat is niche. Has a niche purpose. Yeah, I don't know if I would collect it. Like, if I'm looking at what I would want to buy. I'm not sure if I would buy a Pack Rat. I can see it as a role-playing piece. Where you're like, oh, you're, running around in a Pack Rat doing like a little scouting mission or something. Or like the team has a little Pack Rat. The rear flamer is so the Pack Rat could pretend to be a Batmobile. I fire my flamer during the shooting phase and move 2 more hexes. The Pack Rat is nice if you have squads for some purpose. Normally narrative or objective fulfillment. Yeah. I do like it has 2 tons of SRM6 ammo. You can take the Inferno rounds. General risk of 3+. Tall motive hits for hovers. Oh, you like the emotes, huh? Yeah, you have the emotes. I like emote spam. I'm quite a, when I watch other people's chat, I do enjoy spamming the emotes. Yeah, those are I drew those myself. I gotta make more, but yeah, enjoy the emotes too. Do we have the Prowler in here? I think we go from like short to big. All right, Harasser. The Harasser. Okay, so it's another SRM6 boy. Little faster, 10-15. No armor. Extremely cheap to manufacture and was produced in large numbers. Incorporated the Galleon light tank units within the Free Worlds League. Okay. So it's just a no armor Pegasus with 2 SRM6s instead of 3. Seems okay. You save 200 BV. I don't know. You'd have to run like the run the formulas on it, but same thing as the Pegasus, I suppose. The Hetzer. Wow. Okay. So this is a big threat weapon. Wow. I didn't think this was going to be that good. Jeez. Okay, the Hetzer wheeled assault gun. Designed as a cheap, self-propelled artillery piece to be stationed on worlds deemed worthy to defend, but not valuable enough to station a complete garrison force or even battle mechs. Its primary and only weapon is in the front, meaning the unit lacks a turret, making it difficult to employ in roles other than defensive ones. Also, its wheeled chassis restricts its mobility. Due to decent protection of 6 tons of standard armor and a Crusher SH cannon combined for its low price, the Hetzer is still a valuable piece for poor commands and especially popular throughout the periphery. So this is your like anti-mech unit, just big old AC-20 in the front, 4.6, 30 to 20 armor. I mean, what more do you need? 20 shots. I don't know if it's gonna live that long, but 20 shots. There are versions with AC-10, LRM, and SRM-6. Seems, I believe it when you say it's cheap. For it's like a little Irby, right? It's a little urban mech vehicle. Discount Irby. Artillery cannon on wheels. What's not to love? Yeah. I mean, it's just a wheeled Irby. The first damage you got on your Black Knight in the campaign was from a Hetzer at point blank range. Oh. Not fond of its new art. It's I've played the Germans in the World War II board game. It's got like there's like a world, it looks like it's based off of a World War II German tank. I don't know what it's called, but it's like I think it was also used as a little tank buster. I think it's dorky looking, but so is the urban mech. 4 tons of ammo because it has dreams of surviving. Yeah, exactly. The 4 SRM6 variant is best. Yep. Good for ambushes. Yeah, you pretty much use it as a hunchback / urban mech, I think. It'd be interesting, very scary to go up against. I don't know if I would collect one, but I could see it, you know, if I was doing a campaign or doing like a role-playing thing, I could see. All right, Condor. I want to see what this Condor has. I want to see what that cannon is. Introduced a few short years from the formation of the original Star League, the Condor remained one of Red Devil Industries' main sellers for centuries and was widely distributed across the Inner Sphere. Okay, so this is a common one. The Condor. The Condor. So it looks like we have decent armoring on this guy. But we have a problem. That's pretty disappointing, actually. Got a AC-5, 2 medium lasers, and a machine gun. I thought this big cannon thing would be more impressive, but it's only an AC-5. That's pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing for a big old cannon like that. I thought it would be at least an AC-10. There's a Liao version with all medium lasers, Davion version with 2 AC-2s. For 577 battle value, yikes. And Flamer version. Alright, pass. Not a fan. Look at the Fusion variant. It's from Metal Slug. Yeah, it definitely looks like this thing definitely looks like a Metal Slug tank. Definitely. I could definitely see the Metal Slug. Yep. The Condor looks like someone made a Metal Slug, but realistic, and it sucks. It's sad. Don't underestimate the durability of quick covers with turret weapons, but it's an AC-5. What's it gonna do? I guess, like AC5 weapons are decent against other tanks, but you're only shooting one, so maybe the best one is the actual dabbing AC2. The fusion variant is definitely worth it. I don't see the fusion variant. Is it later on? What year is it? Renaissance. Sheesh. These things get crazy later on. .30 front armor AC5 with 2-shot advance rules. 650 BV and can hunt down and duel most light mechs. But you're getting the motive hits, right? I guess that's only reducing your speed. Treat it like a very fast Clint. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's kind of like the Clint. But then wouldn't you rather, like, if you have these mechs, right? If you have these, if you have mechs that can do the same job, wouldn't you rather have the mechs in Battletech? Let's ask a question. I actually kind of want to know. Okay. If there's a mech with a similar role, would you rather have the mech or the tank? Mech. Tank. I say, if you were to ask me, just from a pure aesthetic point of view, since we're playing Battletech, like if the Condor did the same job as the Clint, I would rather have the Clint because it's a mech. Depends. I guess, I mean, aesthetically, right? I guess if the tank is really a lot cooler, I would take it. But for me, I would kind of favor the mechs, right? Though I guess it is looks, now that I think about it. If it was real life, I'd take the tank. Alright, Darter. Alright, we got another stick out. Oh, Jesus. So here's what I'm saying about overlap. We already saw a couple of scout cars. But this Darter is another scout car, just with like a slightly different loadout and a slightly different speed. I think it's a good thing that they start like cutting these or like not making these units. Just because there's just so much overlap, right? Like we already saw the Pack Rat. Like what really is the difference between this Pack Rat and this Darter? SRM6 versus a machine gun for a slightly better battle value. It's like, eh. I'm happy that they're not like redoing some of these cars slash tanks, because it's just unnecessary, I think. Good generic scout car. Yeah, it's just like a generic scout car. I don't think they need to like, I don't think anyone is going to be like, wow, I really want the Darter instead of the, instead of the Pack Rat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just need like one, you just really need like one generic scout car, I think, for the whole line. Condor can get tagged on the side and instantly get stuck, correct. Mech can also move through dense terrain. Yeah, I guess there are some differences. But I mean, like, there's durability differences, but I think generally if they're fulfilling the same role, maybe, I don't know. We'll see in the poll. Alright, the Skulker is a much larger cousin of the Swiftwind scout car and originally based on the heavy APC design. Due to it being a larger than any scout car, it can act as a mobile communication outpost. So it's a command mech then? Or command tank. Advanced sensor suite, which is tied to both its communications and targeting system. It can navigate with only its sensors, while hot environments will normally wreak havoc upon advanced electronics. Allows us to operate in the hottest environments where other scout vehicles cannot. Skulker. Oh. Okay, yeah, so this is, again, this is what I'm talking about, like. So this is like a light-ish armored tank. I like the little command doohickey things on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it comes with any quirks, but it has a single medium laser. So it's like, I think with this updated artwork, they're redoing the Skulker, it looks like, instead of the Darter or the Pack Rat. The Darter and Pack Rat could have been two variants of the same scout card. Yeah, see, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you could even like roll the Skulker into it, or you could roll the Darter into the Skulker and Pack Rat. Light Mobile HQ. Yep, I like it. I'm a fan. Maybe you should give it some kind of, I think they should give it some kind of quirk, like Command Mech. But we're gonna move on. We don't need 3 Scott cars in our collection. Next up is a Saladin, built by the same company that made the Saracen and Scimitar. The Saladin was Scarborough's last medium hover tank. Unlike its brothers, in that the Saladin does not mount a turret, its only weapon is a short 8. Okay. Okay. All you had to say was AC-20. So it is an 812. It's a Locust with an AC-20. A Locust with an AC-20. Now this is the hover I can get behind because I don't want to be in front of it. I love this guy, the Savannah Master's big mean brother. This is some cheese. This is that stringy cheese factor. That is the cheese factor. Cheese emoji. I give it I give it 5 cheeses out of 5. This is... what the heck? An AC-20 Locust for 600 BV. Like, really? Really? Really, dude? This is a cheesy... This is gross. All right, the Saracen. So this is the 3 brothers. Does it have the same? Okay, it's a skirmisher. I think it has like very similar armor and speed loadouts, right? Is it just the same? Is it a variant based on the same whatchamacall? This one has like, sorry, it must be like the same chassis with different weapons. So LRM-10, 2 SRM-2s. I mean, it's nothing. It's balanced, I guess you would say, but it's nothing to write home about. And then the Scimitar. Scimitar is also another kind of uninteresting skirmisher, I guess. Similar to the Saracen, following the success of the combat vehicle. So this one is 2 SRM-2s and an AC-5. Saracen has more armor, all the same company. This one has 21, 18, 18, 24, 20, 20, and this one has 18, 10, 10. Okay, so they have to be all the same movement profile, so just slightly different armors in order to compensate for the different weapons they have. Okay. I mean, the only one that really stands out to me is the Saladin, but I don't know if I would ever run the Saladin, because it's so cheesy. It would, like, don't ever run this run this without your opponent's permission, and don't ever run this against a newbie. Like, if you want someone to never play Battletech, play this car. Like, if they're like, oh, teach me Battletech, it seems like such a cool game, and you're like, no, I don't want to ever play Battletech against you. Just run like 8 of these guys or something. Or give them this for a unit, I guess. But then they'll be like, wow, this game is dumb. Like, to handle things you need H8 warriors to take them out. Yeah, you need to like plink away at them from long range. I bring 4 mechs. Well, I bring 10 Saladins. Yeah, that seems dumb. Another thing that's good about 50-ton tanks or similar is that their bays are 50 tons compared to 150 tons for a mech bay. Or they won't be in range. You kind of need knowledge to use an AC-20 correctly. I mean, how much knowledge do you really need to use a Saladin with 812 movement? How much knowledge do you really need? It's on turn 1, I run towards you and hide. And on turn 2, I shoot you. And every turn after that, I shoot you with an AC-20 until one of us wins. My wife thinks you look like Jello, but she's Polish. I'm going to say it's a compliment. Well, thank you. Thank you, Matthew M's wife. I appreciate that. A lot of people say I taste like... A lot of people wonder what I taste like, too. Slime is kind of like Jello? Yeah. Alright. This is the mech you've all been waiting for. The legendary Savannah Master. Let's see what this is, guys, about. Named after Savannah Johnson, the mech war it defeated on its trial run, the Savannah Master is notable for being a fusion engine. High speed and meager armor, the Savannah Master hovercraft stays alive by staying mobile and wearing down heavy units with its lone weapon. I don't get what's good about this. Oh, is it because it's 1320 movement with a single medium laser? And that it's 200 battle value? Don't eat the support staff commander. Taste reveal stream when. The Savannah Master has played a key role in one of my TTRPGs because of how stupid fast it was. I see. Hello, Maya the Doe. It's 1320. 5 plus TMM. Go fast, eat back armor. You must bring at least 12 of them. Okay. So you just spam impossible to hit little medium laser guys, and you waste 3 hours of someone's time. That's what it is. You play it. It's what you play when you want 20 units on the table. The mech warrior defeated on its trial run. I want to know the person it was piloting. They probably just kept losing initiative. Now she's saying watermelon. I'm orange. Yeah. It's got to be orange Jello. A lot of people ask if I taste like Tang or orange. Maybe I should make a lick emote. Make a lick emote. Do they have some really sussy ones. Look at all these look at all these emojis. Like, they have the eggplant emoji. Like, what is this? Like, how is this allowed? And they have the lick tongue. There's probably a tongue emoji in here. Oh no, they have that one, they have that one. They have some crazy emojis what they leave on here, man. Some crazy ones. Mango taste would be awesome. Peach Jello is tastier. Savannah Master is a funnel medium laser. Oh, yep, you found it. Yeah, there's some really weird... There are some really weird emojis in on YouTube. Okay, next mech. Or next tank. Keep saying mech. The J. Edgar. Designed as a fast and cheap effective raider, the J. Edgar was the last military vehicle that Alphard Trading Corporation manufactured before they disappeared during the Secession Wars. Unfortunately, the J. Edgar proved quite ineffective and was soon phased out. Okay. So it was just a bad cover car. Looks like from the art they're actually remaking this. Why are they remaking a bad hover car? Why would they remake this? Like, out of all the stuff they could choose? There's one with a SRM-2 medium laser. There's one with flamers. There's one with machine guns. I guess it's kind of an everything thing, but if it's not like popular in the lore, why would they redo it? It's fast, 1117. It was annoying in Mech Commander. The mech was a locust. Tank looks adorable. Yeah, it's that little beep beep school bus lights is iconic, but it's saying oh, okay. It was ineffective and soon phased out, and then I guess they just began manufacturing it. Okay, I guess just because it isn't popular in lore doesn't mean it's not popular in the real world. Have you done the Hussar? Not sure if you can, but can you show for a money while I got the Polish wife watching? No, it didn't run. No, no. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. No, I have to fix it. It's supposed to play text to speech. But yeah, we can do that. Since you threw $10 at me. Thank you very much, Matthew M, by the way. The Hussar, huh? Hussar. Do I have the Hussar in here? Let me check my... I guess we don't actually have the Hussar. Okay, we'll do it now. The Hussar. Oh. Okay, we'll do the loadout first. Wait, this is a mech. Do you mean the mech or the...
Have you done the Hussar?
Oh, now it goes.
Not sure if you can, but show for a money while I got the Polish wife watching.
Do you mean the mech or do you mean the Is there a tank? Is there a tank called the Hussar? You mean this thing? Oh no. Oh no. Or do you mean this? Whatever this is. What is this? Matthew, is this what you want me to look at? Matthew, is this what we want? Is this what we're looking at? The Hussar was one of the Star League Defense Force's most popular and widely used recon mechs since its introduction. It was originally conceived and constructed as an infantry support mech, but as it reached units, its incredible speed naturally lent the Hussar for a scouting role and eventually allowed it to take the place of majority of light scout vehicles. Its excellent communications gear allowed the Hussar to operate deep behind enemy lines, while its incredible speed made it hard to target and allowed the mech to quickly disengage from a fight. An example can be found from the 51st Hussar regiments. Its most significant drawback was thin armoring, less than a locust, and a weapon loadout which left it vulnerable to close-in fighting. During combat, it most often skirted the edge of combat and harassed the enemy at long range. Hussars will often deployed in support of Thorn units. I responded above, my bad, derailing the stream. The Hussar! I guess it's just delayed with the super chats. Okay, so we're looking at the Hussar. I see a 30-50... Ah, here's a Star League one. The D. Has an ER large laser and improved communications. Okay. Oh. Oh, no. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. Okay, so Hussar. 28 armor. 914 movement. So yeah, faster than a Locust, but in exchange it's paying for... It has 2 armor on the legs. And as a light mech, you need your legs to live. Which means if it takes a single medium laser shot, it's taking a crit. If it can take a single SRM shot, and then it takes a crit. But it's staying at long range with its ER large laser in the CT. So it is definitely like a skirmish mech. You have to play far back. On tabletop... I guess you could potentially run it. Not a mech that I would want to run. It's 600 BV. That's kind of a lot. Kind of a lot of BV for a single ER large laser. So, lightly armored. Kind of a liability. 636 BV. Not a mech that I'd want. Decent initiative sinker, maybe. I might just go with the Locust, though. That ER laser is something, though. The ER large laser is something, though. Sit at max rage. Yep. The main reason. Is there a variant with more armor? That J-Head ain't looking bad anymore, is it? I guess not. There are some pretty bad mechs. There's one with an ECM suite. That's kind of nice. 3052, it starts to be remade. There's an LB10. Yeah, there are ones with more... I guess as you get in later eras, like in 3060, it looks like they mount an ERPPC, which is kind of interesting, and it has 12 armor. But we're looking at like the Star League one. Interesting. The 400D. Yeah. It looks like it kind of fixes itself in later eras, but just from the Star League version of this Hussar is I don't know. I actually kind of like the look. Oddly enough, it looks really funky. And it's got like this top laser thing. Looks like I don't know, like a bug chicken walker thing. It's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. 2 million, yeah. It's an interesting concept. I think it's an interesting concept, like the PPC Cicada is an interesting concept. No jump jets. Maybe a good training mech for Locust pilots. Questionable Goth Medusa, because if the pilot fails a piloting check, it crashes. And because it's so lightly armored, it starts taking crits. I love its little chin arms. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The larval form of the Marauder. Oh, God. My wife asked if I could send a photo of the historical dominating Hussars. Oh, like the Polish, the winged Hussars. I kind of like the look of the winged Hussars. They have like the little eagle feather banner on their back. They are like Polish cavalry, right? Yeah. I like the look. The red and white. I think I see in a lot of things. I don't play Battletech, but this thing looks really cool. Oddly cool. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. This thing is absolutely the case if we have a Marauder at home. Yep. Okay. I'll be right back, okay? Right back. We're going to take a short intermission. I think we're about halfway. Yeah. We're gonna start covering the big boys coming up soon. But I'll be right back. Be right back. We're back. We're back. Let me read chat. What I miss. Now that Dad is gone, who wants anarchy? Can I have some Kahlua ice cream? It's only 1:30. It's only 10:30. Yeah, it's past 5 o'clock. Got here just in time, didn't I? Some intermission didn't have time to do anything. Yo, we're speed running the intermission, man. We're speed running it. Speed. All right, I think we're starting to get a little heavier now. The Galleon, a light combat vehicle, first saw production in 2692. The Galleon proved to be an economical means of supporting infantry and battle mechs. With a top speed faster than most mechs, the Galleon is well armed but lacked protection, carrying only 3.5 tons of armor. Vehicle served during the American Civil War. Huh. Okay. So this is like a light battle tank then. Galleon. The Galleon. Oh. Ooh, it's stinky. Ooh, it's a stinky boy. This one can go in the trash, I think. I think this one can go in the straight trash. Chat is clipping off the bottom of the screen. It's a bad stinger. Oh, yeah, it is. Let's see here. Let me unlock it. Boop. Alright. Let me slide you. I can slide you over even. No. We'll keep you there. We'll keep you there. Can we make this bigger? Maybe? Let's see here. Scrancher. This is a kind of a questionable mech here. Questionable. Oh wow, not a locust. Yeah, it's not great. All right, the Galleon 200 medium laser with machine guns is bad. We're moving on. Scorpion. Initially produced by the Quick-Cell company, the Scorpion tank is well known for being easy to repair, available in numbers, and best of all, cheap. Because of these properties, it has achieved the nickname of budget tank. Found in the backwater and many backwater and periphery worlds, the Scorpion is a proven favorite due to its low cost. Okay. The Scorpion Light Tank. As I'm going through these, they just seem very samey. Like, they're all kind of like, you know, kind of poopy. These pretty poopy weapon loadouts until I think we get a little later. AC-5, a machine gun. Not inspiring. You love the Scorpion? What makes you love the Scorpion? Militia fodder that the GM deploys in front of the players. Yeah. This is like a role-playing one where these are like little mooks that you kill. What do you love about the Scorpion, Frozen Frog? If you don't mind, sharing with the class. There's an LRM version. There's an SRM6 version. That's not bad. But I'm not a fan of the standard Scorpion. The Vedette. The yardstick with all other tanks are judged. The Vedette is a medium tank, one of the most popular combat vehicles in the Inner Sphere. It's fast even for a medium tank. The Vedette. Oh, it is also a stinky boy. Yeah, these are kind of mook tanks, I gotta say. Especially with the, like, motive chances. It's just not enough. AC-5 machine gun. It's just not enough. There's an AC-2 version. There's a medium laser version. It's just kind of the same as a Scorpion. Just not enough. I've killed so many vedettes. Yeah. It's not great. Secession War vehicles range from Godzilla to utter fodder. It's for you don't take these for pickup games, it's for narrative games? Yeah. You're like, oh, attack the whatever. Destroy this Lance. Out of curiosity, what do you really want out of a low tonnage tank? I want the Pegasus. That's the cool one we've seen so far. The 3 SRM6 Pegasus with a ton of regular ammo and a ton of Inferno ammo. I don't know if there's any other archetypes other than like the Hertzer. The Hetzer. I think the Hetzer and the Pegasus were the most interesting so far. And there's a lot of copies, right? Like the Scorpion is the same as the Vedette, essentially. Just with slightly different speeds and ammo. Yeah. The Pegasus is a high bar, very good tank for its era. Yep. Let me write these down actually. I think the Pegasus is good. The Hetzer is an interesting one. And then these Vedettes and Scorpions are kind of mooks. The Stronker. This is a mech? Wait. The Strike. Oh, there's a assault mech called the Striker. Okay. The Striker light tank. Heavily armored. Low-cost fire support tank made in the mainstay of the AFFS after its introduction during the 31st century. This is a respectable tank, I think. A lot better than I think than the Scorpion and the Vedette, but still not great. LRM 10, SRM 6. You could do worse. Okay. They're light tanks. They serve as a support role. I don't know, but what role actually does this Vedette serve? It's an AC-5. Again, AC-5's not doing very much at all. It sits at the back. You have to bring it into medium range anyway. And it just plinks with a machine gun. It's like an ignore mech or an ignore tank. Sans D20 wasn't watching live. You're in the past. Welcome to the present, my man. Laughably low VV for its durability. Activation sync. I mean, fair. 475 activation sync. Yeah. I guess. if you don't want to take like a Scorpion or something. A fair take. Not something that I would necessarily run. I do appreciate that it only appears that they're updating this Vedette and not this Scorpion. I think they recognize that we don't need that many tanks. Okay, now we're starting to get into the real business here. The real reason why we came. The LRM carrier. Ever since the development of the first rocket centuries ago, military units have used mobile missile systems to provide cheap and effective fire support. Along with its SRM counterpart, the LRM carrier serves in every military action across the inner sphere in a variety of shapes and forms. The chassis for missile carriers vary in basic designs, but they are all essentially military transport vehicles, tracked with being the most common, adapted to carry the huge missile launchers and loading equipment. These adaptations generally consist of reinforcements in the suspension system, blah 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 blah. If forced to engage in direct combat, a carrier's life expectancy is measured in seconds. Okay. The old LRM carrier. So we can see here that it has pretty much no armor. It's moving at 3.5, so it's definitely a support vehicle. It has... I don't know about this one. I actually don't know about this one. I like the fact that it has 3 SRM-20 launchers. I don't like the fact that you only have 6, 7, 8 turns shooting. I thought it would have more ammo. The Tarian Turtle. Terrier for beyond LOS. Yeah. So you're bringing like a lance of these, right? For what, 3K? About 3K battle value. 3, 4, 3, 2. And then you're parking behind outside of LOS and just spotting. So the combo would be, right, like a warrior helicopter or whatever. 2 warrior helicopters, 4 LRM carriers, and then just like something to block. How many missiles do you want? Yes. The mighty cheese mobile. Now just bring a ferret. Yes. I would give this... How many cheeses out of 5? It's not super cheesy. It can get pretty cheesy. I'd give it 3 cheeses. 3 cheeses out of 5. No. We'll give it 4 cheeses out of 5. Enough LRMs to blacken the sky? Yes. I think it's pretty feels bad if you are facing off against an LRM carrier and can't get behind it. You bring the cheese, they bring the wine. Yeah. For real. Alright, the SRM carrier. Oh. I think this one surprised a lot of people in MechWarrior, the video game. I thought this would be faster and have more armor, but it does not. So this is definitely like an ambush mech. Ambush tank. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 SRM-6s. So 60 SRMs. And 60 times 2. Wait. What? It has 60 SRMs and 60 turns of shooting? 60 shots? Huh? Oh, okay, it's in 6s. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns of shooting. I've never seen these used. How well do they do? The go-home tank. They just keep rolling dice. The SRM carrier is funny to dumpster an Atlas with 1 shot. Dice hits, dice for cluster, and then dice for hit locations. Yeah, you're going to be here for... You definitely need Mega Mech or something. They win the game by you rolling only 2d6 per hit for 1 hour. The SRM carrier is the ultimate ambush predator. SRM 60 is godly throw weight. It can only come home if it kills. Can it live through 6 turns of shooting? Yeah, very true. Very true. We may want to drop like a ton or 2 of ammo for more armor. The SRM carrier is an experience to face. I think it's more of an ambush mech, right? So you're running it in like urban warfare, and you just kind of roll it out and just unload on something. You win through out timing your opponent. Yeah. Hidden unit scenarios. Yep. Anything that you can hide. I think it's probably less cheesy than the LRM carrier. I don't know if I'd give it 3 cheeses. I think it's probably 2 cheese. It's probably a 2 cheese. It's probably a 2 cheese thing. I would have fun fighting against it a few times. I'd have more fun fighting an SRM carrier than an LRM carrier. At least I feel like I'd have counterplay. If not a hidden unit, then decidedly lackluster. Yep. I'd agree. You haven't lived until you load these with tandem charge SRMs. I don't know what that is. Alright, there's something called a laser carrier. That's apparently in here. It's just the same thing, I think. But it just got medium lasers. You didn't even have a whatchamacall. It's just the same speed, same armor, but with 8 medium lasers. I think this is probably the weakest concept out of all of them. I don't know. It's okay. The AC2 carrier is interesting concept. So 5 AC2s, tracked generic fire support vehicle during the Age of War. This one you would load with. I'm actually surprised it doesn't have the anti-air quirk, but you're using this for motive hits, so kind of anti-vehicle, anti-air. Tandem charge SRMs are an alternate ammo. You get half the shots, but you get -2 crit check for every missile through armor. Wow. Yep, AC2 carrier, no missile units for you, no air units for you. Yeah, this is just like dealing with, I think, anti-air, anti-air/anti-mech, because really you're looking for the motive hits, right? So you're kind of parking this far away and just pelting things. The other carrier, quote unquote, is the PPC carrier. I always hated to face these in Battletech, the video game, but I think it's an interesting concept. It's just like pretty heavily armored as well, not like the other carriers, and a pretty simple weapons loadout. 3 PPCs. Now the danger here, I think, with these Shrek PPCs is that you can spam them. So you can carry, they're really cheap, right? It's basically an awesome level of firepower for 900. I'm not sure that I would want to face off against someone using a whole lance of them. I think I'd probably give it 3 cheeses out of 5. Maybe 3.5 cheeses out of 5. This Shrek is good. Darn, I'm late. Have you mentioned the Burke tank? No, I have not. I think if we haven't mentioned any of the tanks that you wanted to see, you can mention them at the end of the stream and we can take a look. But we are getting into the big boys. We are getting into the heavier mechs. A good use of the SRM carriers is the bodyguard for the LRM carriers, is also known as the Tarian home defense. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Catbox video. Also, welcome to chat. First time I'm seeing you chatting, Mr. Catbox. But I would agree. You take like a lance of the LRM carriers and then just have something to block for them, like an SRM carrier or like the AC-20 tanks. That's a pretty good one. But yeah, with this Shrek PPC carrier, you're kind of dominating. You're getting a lot of firepower for pretty cheap, and you're hoping that your front-loaded firepower and lower defense will kind of win out. So I think possibility for cheesing. The Shrek does have some weaknesses, like an engine crit disables weapons. Really? The Shrek is a great vehicle for the game because it has clear pros and cons for both the user and the victim. Where does it say it loses engine crits disable the weapons of tanks? I don't know if I would agree it's great for the game. I think it's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's something that I would want to see a lot. Like if I'm playing Combined Arms and the Shrek PPC carrier is meta. I don't know if I would like it. I'd rather see an awesome. But it's an interesting concept. No engine, no power for the weapons. I'd have to maybe see. My initial thoughts are it's a little cheesy. Seems a little cheesy. I think they're cool in the Battletech game, the video game. All right. The Ontos. The vehicle that will eventually be called the Ontos started out as the first of 3 prototypes created by Grumman. While all 3 performed adequately, the Ontos was chosen due to the fact that its main armament never needed to be reloaded in a protracted engagement. Ontos has proven popular throughout the Inner Sphere, especially so in the Free Worlds League, where it is the mainstay of House Marek's heavy tank units. It is often used as an ambush unit due to its short range and low speed. Ontos. The Ontos, you say? .35 mover, so it is quite slow. Coming in at about 1,000 BV, so actually about as much as a mech. 28, 24, so decently armored. And what's that, 8 medium lasers for a turret? I like it better than the laser carrier. I think 8 medium lasers is completely wicked, as we've seen it with the Hunchback. Autocannons or missiles can shoot, but PPCs or lasers cannot. Ah, okay. Energy weapons require a fusion engine to run, otherwise you have to get energy conversion for the weapon, which, if I remember correctly, is 0.5 tons. Very damage efficient. You do have to get in range. It is 3.5, so seems kind of hard to use. You're definitely not ever hanging back with your LRM 5s, although those can hit, engage vehicles, other enemy vehicles. Armor is weak for assault tank, but it's for ambushes. Yeah, very, very damage efficient. I don't know if I would use it, but yeah. I kind of like the look too. It's kind of very, very unique 8 medium laser kind of look. There's a new version with something called chemical lasers. Bodyguard mech. You love the Shrek? I could see it, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little wary. I would be willing to fight one just a couple times just to see how it goes, but I don't know if I would use it. I think this Ontos is a little questionable though with the speed. I like the medium lasers, but yeah, I would say like bodyguard / ambusher maybe. Might be a good defender for your LRM carriers. The Manticore. One of the best designed and most powerful tanks ever created. Built to combat battle mechs in support of infantry formations, although the Manticore mounts a variety of weapons to handle a variety of combat roles and ranges. It is heavily armored for a vehicle of its weight, but not equipped to deal with the raw firepower of super heavies. Okay. Let's take a look at the Manticore. So this is like a standard heavy tank. Ooh, I like this one. Oh. I like this one. 4.6. So good movement profile for Secession Wars. 40 and 30 armor on the front and sides. And take a look at the loadout. The loadout's quite nice. PPC SRM6, medium laser LRM10. So you have the Pierce crit combo with the PPC SRM6, and you got like a little accompanying LRM10 and a medium laser thrown in there. The Centurion of the tanks. Yeah, I would say. I like this Manticore. I like the Manticore design. I particularly like the PPC SRM6 combo. Good armor too. Yep. Very good armor. I think I could definitely buy this as a mainline battle tank. This is probably a tank that I would use. Like, this is like the first, like, forget the Scorpion and Vedette. Those things are kind of poo. I would say probably reach for the Manticore. Looks solid? Yeah, looks pretty good. I think Manticore, I would skip the Vedette. I'll just go straight Manticore. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that much more either. About 1,000 BV. Cheap as a low-end medium mech, yeah. If you wanted to play tanks, I think I would go for Manticore. The Pike. The Pike was created at the direction of Magistro Centrella of the Magistrate of Canopus during the later part of the Third Secession War. Her plan was to produce inexpensive combat vehicle, so the great houses would wear down their battle mech armories through attrition, and the Pike would be the tool she envisioned for the task. However, sending vehicles to market in the inner sphere was to be more costly than anticipated. Okay. Became a favorite of Comstar's growing garrison forces for their HPG complexes. The Pike support vehicle. Interesting, this was made by the Magistrate of Canopus. So it's got decent armor. A lot better armor than what we've seen before. I'm not too sure about the weapons, though. 3 AC2s, 2 SRM2s. This is more of like an anti-tank, anti-air mech. Anti-tank, anti-air tank. Rather than a anti-mech tank. Wait till we hit the Von Luckner. We're getting progressively bigger, so we will hit it. When facing enemy vehicles, kick. I don't know about this Pike. I think I actually kind of like the AC2 carrier a little bit better. Because it's got more AC2s and it's more intuitive. Well, actually, I take that back. It's only got 12. The AC2's only got 12 armor. So maybe the Pike is the way to go. The Pike is weak. Yeah, you're using it. I think you're using it as more support anti-air. Anti-air, anti-vehicle. It's meant to shoot across the map in many times in lances. Yep. Alright, the Brutus Assault Tank. Despite its abilities, the compelling Confederation remained lukewarm about the design. The tank was relegated to the Confederation's second-line militias and garrisons, where it finally saw action during the Fourth Secession War. Impressed by its performance, the AFFS quickly pressed a large number of captured tanks into service along the frontline regimental command teams of the AFFS and the AFFC. So the Brutus Assault Tank. Decent armor, 3.5, so it's slow. LRM 20, SRM 6s, and 2 large lasers. This one's kind of good. So instead of the PPC, you have large lasers, which means you're coming in closer. But you have more large lasers and more SRM 6s, which means you're kind of evening out, so you aren't like swinging wildly with the dice. And it's got a pretty big LRM launcher too. The Brutus is also a good tank. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good tank. It's a little heavier than the Manticore, coming in at 100 more, but I could see you using the Brutus. Not bad. 3.5 is a little slow though. I think this is doable though. The Bulldog. I like my Shrek's weapons swapped to 3 LB10s with cluster ammo. Yikes. Yeah, that seems good. I would take LB10s on a Shrek PPC carrier if I could. Okay, the Bulldog. The Bulldog could be called a jack of all trades, featuring a classic layout of one main gun and a few secondary weapons. Speed is not exceptional, and its protection is anything but ample. On the other hand, is easy to repair and said to be a reliable, cheap asset for a field commander that needs a backbone of vehicles. Okay. Okay. I mean, even though it says it has bad armor or like anything but ample, it's got decent. It's like 2420 is pretty decent. Large laser 2 SRM4, so it's got just the Pierce crit. I think I would rather have the at 605, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's significantly cheaper, like 300, so a third of the cost of the Manticore. Still, I do think I would prefer the Manticore's LRM-10. And you like almost double it. You have a lot, like 30%, 50 to 30% more armor. I think if I had a choice, I would take the maybe pony up for the Manticore rather than the Bulldogs. Large lasers are nice. Armor setup's not bad. You can take a couple of PPC shots. I still think I would go with the Manticore though instead of the Bulldog. Discount tank. Yep. Okay, the Partisan. The Partisan Standard. Design the Partisan to bring the same capabilities into a cheaper, more easily produced vehicle. Dedicated to destroying aircraft. Its targeting system can track up to 200 targets at once, compute the optimal target, and link the targeting system of other partisans to the unit. Okay, so this thing's got 3.5, so it's a slow support vehicle. 2 machine guns and 4 AC-5s. So it's definitely anti-aircraft. Doesn't look like it has the anti-aircraft quirk, although I would expect it to. And there's an AC-2 version with 5 AC-2s. And an LRM version with 60 LRMs. I think this Partisan is workable. I like it. Yeah. The anti-plane mech. It's got only 600 battle value. 673. It ain't bad. I love the Partisan. It's made by the same people who made the Rifleman Jaeger mech. Yeah, it's not bad. I would probably use one if it had the anti-aircraft quirk. Watching these vehicles makes me hope that the Kickstarter will ship out faster than what they said. Did you get into the Kickstarter, Nerdy? I actually did not get into the Kickstarter, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the release and like analyzing all the packs and seeing which one I want. Very slow. It is. I mean, I'm assuming it's just meant to kind of sit in the back and plink away, right? And just hit vehicles, hit planes. Probably use the flak ammo. Not a bad support vehicle. Partisan is a good harasser. Flak ammo makes it beautiful. Yep, I would probably run it with flak ammo for sure. Alright, the Patton. There was like a controversy, right? About like removing the Patton and the Rommel or whatever. I looked in the in Megamech, it's still listed as the Patton and Rommel, and on Megamech and on Sarn it's still listed as the Patton and Rommel. But didn't they like errata it out or something? They got rid of the Rommel name or something. I don't know. I just heard some rumblings, but I don't really know. Designed concurrently with the Rommel, Defiance Industries decided that a vehicle to replace mechs was needed in the early 3000s, since mech production was nearly at a standstill. The ability to produce and field armored vehicles became a necessity no successor state could ignore. Unlike the Rommel, which features a massive and powerful but short-range AC-20 as its main gun, the Patton mounts an AC-10, giving it superior armor, ammunition capacity and superior range firing, also enabling it to be fitted with more armor. The Patton is capable of fighting at short range in urban environments, but is far more suited than the Rommel to engaging targets at medium to long ranges. So it's got an LRM-5, which is kind of nice against vehicles. AC-10, flamer, small laser. Pretty standard stuff. I think the Bulldog's a little bit better. 961. Maybe the difference is the heavy armor. 51 armor on the front. And the Bulldog's only got 20. But it's got similar guns. Although the Patton, I guess, would win out because it has so much more armor. I don't think it'd be eroded, but no for publicating. The Rommel is a variant of the Patton and expanded into its own line of tanks. Stupid marketing stuff. They wanted to scrub the Rommel and say that both tanks are the same. The return of the rear flamer. Oh, it does have a rear flamer. Wow. Massive armor. Great armor for brawling and power to mac it up. I think I would want to see more weapons, like an SRM or something, or another, I don't know. Like two, I like the two large laser version, the two large lasers idea, the concept. I like the LRM 5. Maybe like two more medium lasers might make it like more viable, and an SRM launcher or something. But I like the armor. The 46 and 51 armor is kind of cool. And then yeah, they had the same picture for the Rommel. So let's take a look what the Rommel has. I mean, it's built around the AC-20, obviously. Ooh, that's a hit. So we no longer have 50 armor anymore. We're down to 38, which is still respectable. And it's just an AC-20 and LRM, AC-20, LRM 5 small laser. I think I'd rather have the Hertzer than the Rommel, honestly. Because it's built around that AC-20, and you're probably getting the Hertzer for cheaper, right? Let's take a look at the Hertzer again. 30 and 574, yeah. You would take the Hertzer instead of the Rommel. They would both die to a Brutus or Von Luckner. Isn't the Manticore lighter with more weapons? We looked at the Manticore, right? The Manticore was kind of a balanced tank. The PPC and the SRM-6. And that's the reason why I liked the Manticore was the PPC and the SRM-6 and the support LRM-10. And it's got like a medium laser. I really like this tank. I think it's probably one of the more balanced ones. I think I would pass on this Rommel and just go for a Hertzer instead, and then use the Patton if I had to choose between them. Lighter than the Patton. The Rommel has a turret, if memory serves. Yeah, I think the difference is the Rommel and the Hertzer is the Rommel has a turret, but I would still take the Hertzer. No turret, rolling casket. True. Yeah, I think any of this AC-20 stuff is pretty gimmicky. You're pretty much building around the AC-20, but I don't know if I would want it on a quote-unquote main battle tank. It seems more of like a ambusher at that point. All right, the Sturmfeuer debuted in 3018, so pretty recent. At that time, it was the largest combat vehicle dedicated to providing missile support in the inner sphere. True to the philosophy that the LCAF commissioned it, so the Lyrans, it is slow and can withstand a determined counter-assault before needing to withdraw. The name appears to be a misspelling of the German translation of assault fire. Okay. The Sturmfeuer. Ooh, okay. So is this like an alternate LRM carrier with more ammo? So 66 armor, so ridiculous amounts of armor. Oh, it's kind of weird. It's got dummy amounts of armor, but it's an LRM boat. I guess it's an more reliable to use LRM carrier. And then there's an SRM version. Getting pricey, 1400. Yeah, I think at this point you're pretty much, it's do I want the Archer or the Sturmfeuer? And then we're looking at like I think the Archer is just more iconic. I'll end the poll here. I mean, most people are saying like they would rather have a mech rather than a tank. So it's kind of your choice, but it's doing the same thing as essentially doing the same thing as an Archer, just with a more armor and slower. Yeah. Less vulnerable to scouts running up on it, which may serve you in the wrong run. The controversy stuff was false. I think a lot of stuff on the internet is generally just a big bunch of hullabaloo. Just people making noise. 1400 BV, yeah. So you're choosing between, do I want the Archer or the Stormflare? Which, if you're running like an all combined arms unit, maybe you're taking the Stormflare. But if you like mechs, you're taking the Archer, right? I'm an LRM boat that survived bombards from other LRMs. Niche. Yeah, true. So if you get in a LRM fight, you're the one that kind of comes out on top. Fair. I kind of liked how they're going with the armored concept and like covering up the LRM launchers. Neat. Combined arms is the inner sphere solution to clan or cheese. Isn't combined arms kind of cheese in itself, though, from what we've been looking at? Alright, the Tokugawa. This one was, as I was looking through it, it was a Kurita tank. There's not much written about it, as you can tell. It is a heavy wheeled tank designed by the Draconis Combine. Decent armoring. 6 for a 60-tonner. Oh, that's why they didn't talk about it. This is very standard. Just an AC-10 SRM-6, so kind of like a Panther design. And a support machine gun. For 731. So it's essentially, yeah, it's essentially a Panther. With no jump. The cheese fight. Why would you take a 60-ton wheeled vehicle? Do they not have mud in the Combine? It is a vehicle. Yeah, it's got a really race car design. It has a race car design and then an AC-10 SRM-6 turret. I don't know if you would call this a Tokugawa. This is like a I don't know. I'm not a fan of car. I'm not a car guy, but this looks like a race car. Limited to Kurita. Yeah. I mean, it's a solid tank, solid design. Hard to argue with the AC, AC-10 PPC and SRM-6. All right, are you ready for the big boys? You ready for the assault tanks? 731 BV, not bad. Yeah, it's like a Panther design. About, I think it's around the cost of it. Let me look at the cost of the Panther. Panther is 769, so it's essentially a Panther, but you're losing the jump and adding more armor. Yeah, it's usable. All right, the Behemoth. Introduced in 2952, the Behemoth was designed for increased firepower and heavy armor rather than speed and maneuverability. This design allowed the Behemoth to engage both distant and short-range targets while allowing to stand up to any type of unit possible. It's got so many weapons. I have to make the description smaller. .46 armor in the front, 38 on the sides, so very, very tanky. 2-3, so it's slower than an urban mech. That thing is such an edgelord tank. It's got the spirit of the direwolf inside of it. The Behemoth is a good turret, but not a mobile battle. All right, 2 AC-10s. It's got so many weapons. 2 AC-10s. It's got an LRM-20, but in units of 5, so that you can kind of get a bunch of motive hits on. It's got 2 SRM-6s, 4 SRM-2s, and 4 machine guns. So you can run Infernos on it, I guess. It's a very, I am a tanky tank. So many smaller weapons, very expensive turret. City fighting, broken terrain, area denial. Yep. So you kind of just park it But you do have to get into, I would argue that you do have to get into brawl range, SRM6 range, in order to be valuable. Because otherwise it's AC10s with LRM little dinkling, which is not great. But yeah, little city fighter boy. Mobile bunker. Very true. Alright. The Von Luckner. Designed for the original Star League after the Reunification War as a battle mech without legs. Interesting. The Von Luckner is fully capable of blasting light mechs to pieces. Named after Count Felix von Luckner, is one of the few tanks to use a fusion engine. Few of these vehicles remain in service, but they are very lethal, weighing more than most battle mechs as well. 11 tons and overwhelming firepower. The Von Luckner. 75 tonner. We have a 3.5 mover with some pretty solid armoring. Is that an AC-20 I smell? That is an AC-20 I smell. AC-20, LRM-10, and 16 SRMs. Very cool. A very good tank. Now that's a cannon. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Pretty good one. Again, I think a city fighter, right? Because you have to get into range with the AC-20, but it's got the built-in Pierce crit. It's got the AC-20 SRM-6 follow-up. You're pretty much deleting anything. Oh, I mean, you're deleting a lot of like medium mechs that kind of get in range. Quite good. Quite good. Although the 3.5 movement is a problem if you're in open terrain. But a pretty cool one. Pretty cool tank. Pretty cool tank. Machine gun and flamer so the infantry does not feel left out. Yeah. Another city fighter. Is that rear-mounted LRM tubes? Oh no. Why though? Alright, whoever said that they like the Von Luckner, why does it have rear-mounted LRMs? Why? Why does this have... Why does this have rear-mounted LRMs? So it can move very slowly, run away, and fire smoke LRMs. It just mounted a full-on LRM-10 launcher so it can run away? That can't be right. Just mount a whole LRM-10 so we can pop smokes. Instead of a smoke launcher. A parting gift. It's so silly. I don't know if I should like it more or like it less for having a rear-mounted LRM-10 launcher. Or not having it rear-mounted at all. The butt missiles. It might be rear-mounted but not rear-facing. Great turret, good armor though. Yeah, good armor. Good turret, good combo. Questionable LRM-10s though. I would have liked them up front so you can actually, use them for something to kind of get motive hits on enemy tanks. That's the crew escape hatches. They eject themselves out of the LRM-10. All right, let's look at the Rhino. What is this? Oh, it's a support tank. The Rhino's intended as a far more heavily armored version of the ubiquitous LRM carrier. While carrying one less 20-tube launcher, the Rhino is covered with 17 tons of Panther Skin 7 armor. Ah, okay. So yeah, this is an LRM duelist, like the what's the Sturmfwehr that we saw before. It's got 60 and 50 armor, so it's just an LRM dueler, and it's got a respectable amount of LRM. Okay, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. A frontline playable LRM carrier. LRM carrier where you care about your tank crew. When you care. Buy the Rhino when you care. I guess, yeah, it's a survivable LRM boat. Still, it is still like 1463, which is the amount of an archer. So I guess you would only really take this tank if you liked tanks more than you liked mechs, because you can always just take the archer for the same amount. Much armor, many missiles. Played some of these against the clans. They lifted their weight in direct fire shooting. Wouldn't you just use, like, Samuel, why didn't you just take that's a question actually. Samuel, why didn't you just take archers instead of the Rhino? Why'd you take the Rhino instead of archers? Was it like because you liked the idea of combined arms, or yeah, always take the archer? It's the same thing. I mean, it's almost the same thing as the archer. It's like the tank version of the archer. I guess you have more armor, less mobility. Archer overheats. More places to hide the Rhino. Indirect fire with level 1 cover. Okay. So easier to use. Comm guards narrative stuff, which trying them out. Okay. So there are tactical reasons why, because it's easier to get cover and you indirect fire, but you're a little harder, like it's harder to hit with the indirect fire stuff, right? More ammo. No, the archer's got 4 tons, right? The archer's got 4 tons of LRM ammo, if I'm not mistaken. The 2R. Yeah, 4 tons. I guess significantly less armor, but you're not suffering from motive hits. Not having heat issues is a pretty good selling point for the Rhino. Okay. Yeah, okay, I could see it. Indirect is just +1 to hit. Okay. +1, not bad. Okay. Alright, I guess it's a little bit different. Maybe a little bit stronger even, I guess. Why not have both? Yeah, I guess you can. I just prefer, maybe I prefer the Stompy Boys. If playing with C-Bills costs, it's a lot cheaper. Okay. Yeah, if you play C-Bills. The Rhino's 4 million and the Archer is... How much is the Archer? 6 mil? Okay. Yeah, if you're playing with C-Bills. I guess if you're playing a campaign, maybe you want the Rhino, or the Rhino's the only thing that's available. Compared to the Archer's going to have a +1 from overheating. I never understood why people don't like the... why people think the Archer overheats. I don't think it actually has heating problems. It's got 10. It's got 10 heat sinks, so you're staying still and firing the LRM-20s for net 2. And then whenever you're about to hit that +8, you just stop using an LRM-20 for a turn. Tanks can't... Yeah, and you don't... yeah, it's some trade-offs, I guess. Okay. Alright. The last boy. The Demolisher. Tall, squat, and using 4 treads, the Demolisher has a well-earned, though sometimes exaggerated, reputation as one of the most deadly vehicles on the battlefield. Designed to counteract the increasing scarcity of mechs during the Secession Wars, based on the increasingly rare old SLDF heavy tank of the same name, the Demolisher became popular, especially on worlds where battle mechs were not available. This is like another metal slug mech, or tank. The Demolisher. Oh, there's a defensive version of the Demolisher. The Demolisher Heavy Tank, Standard Mark 1. got a lot of armor. 40 on the front and 30 on the sides. And only 981 battle value? Excuse me? $3.5, okay. If it went 4.6, I would scream. And you've got 2 AC-20s. The clan version, there's a clan version of the Demolisher. The Demolisher is what you guard your LRM carriers with. Yep. I have heard of like the castle design where you have 4 LRM carriers and 4 Demolishers. Make it count, its armor is paper thin. No, it's got 30 and 40 armor. Ultimate in parking lot technology. Look at the battle value on that thing, though. 981. That's disgusting. All right, what are other ones? Defensive version. Oh, there's a defensive version with AC-20s and machine guns. And then there's another standard Mark II with just AC-20s. Interesting. But yeah, it's a disgusting low price for 2 AC-20s. It's 400. You're paying what, 450 per AC-20? Anti-clan with 2 Gauss. Tank version of the King Crab. Yeah, but it's so cheap. In some places where you can keep it covered till it gets close, then you love it. Yeah. I mean, I guess you would force people to come into you with your LRM-20s. Ice is cheap. Yeah, look at that. It's as much as a locust. No, is it? Look, how much is a locust? It's only 500k more than a locust. It's only 2 million C-bills. That's gross. Gross! We're giving it some cheeses here. Demolisher is... Is it 4 or 5 cheeses, would you say? Is the Demolisher 4 or 5? It's 981 BV, though. It's... Alright, we'll give it 4 cheeses. I don't miss it, but have you looked at the Ontos? We did look at the Ontos, the 8 medium laser guy. It becomes a target of every LRM and LB-10 for 2 rounds till it can't move. Yeah. But it's still very, I don't know, just very, very silly, I think. A very silly design. It's cool looking. I like the, not as cool looking as the, what's that other mech we looked at that looked like a Metal Slug mech, tank? I think I would play against it maybe 1 or 2 times and then be like, nah, the Demolisher's dumb. Definitely an Ontos over the Demolisher. I think I would rather fight the Ontos rather than the Demolisher. That seems more fair. A little more sporting, good sir. Aw, but the Hole Puncher AC-20s. Yeah. I mean, no one here is denying that the Hole Puncher AC-20s are good. No one's saying that they're not good. But is it fun to fight against? It's fun to use, certainly, but is it fun to fight against? How does it compare to an urban mech? It's probably a lot better than an urban mech. The urban mech R60L is 1.5 million and 470. Actually, the urban mech might be better. No, it can't be. The Demolisher is more tanky. But the urban mech has somewhat more mobility with the 2 jump jets, I guess. 232 versus 35. I guess maybe if those jump jets matter. BV wise, it's about double the cost of an urban mech. I don't know. I guess. I'd rather fight an urban mech than a demolisher, though. The 1000 BV Super Hertzer. You whack 20 demolisher, or I leave it for an on-toss. The demolisher demands your respect, or you die. It's also faster than an Irby. Yeah, 3.5 is faster, but the Irby has jump jets. If you're using that in city fight, that might matter. Pair of demolishers with hunchies for the memes. I mean, I think it's like demolisher and SRM carrier for the memes, right? You take like a squad of demolishers and the follow-up SRM carriers. That's like the disgusting combo. Okay. Is there any other mechs that we want to take a look at? We can do a couple. Just pop them into chat if you want to take a look at it. Oh yeah, the Goblin. Did I just delete that? The Goblin medium tank. That was like a standard APC carrier, right? Yeah. How did we miss that? I must have deleted it. Anyway, we need to cover this. Goblin medium tank. Actually quite respectable loadout. Large laser machine gun, I can get with that. But the real reason you would take it is the troop carrier. So this is your other APC that you would potentially use to move things up. I still think, if you were to ask me though, if you were to ask me about troop carriers, I would still say probably the Karnov first, and then probably the Pegasus, and then probably the Goblin. Because you have to run a lot of Goblins to move them up, and they're 4/6 tracked, whereas the Karnov is not, and the Pegasus is a little faster. The Burk or the Kanga? All right, we'll do the Burk since you were at that first. Burk. The Burk defense tank. Whoa. Okay. The Burk. The Burk is a competitor to the PPC carrier. So this guy's got 3 PPCs and an LRM, which makes it a little more... it's got a little bit of crit potential, but kind of the same thing as the PPC carrier, right? I think a decent alternative. Check out the Harrier cover tank. The Harrier. Did I spell that right? Harrier. Is it in the database? I see the Roadrunner. The Roadrunner Emerald Harrier. Whatever is called the Harrier is not in the Megamech database, unfortunately. The Moon Mission Troop Carrier, is that a thing? Let me look for Moon. Also not in the database. The Maxim. Did we miss the Maxim? Holy moly. Maxim. Somehow I've deleted some of these mechs. Okay, Maxim. Good that you mentioned them then. The Maxim. Alright, this is a respectable troop carrier, I think. .812 hover, so locust speed, but not, you know, not hindered by terrain really, except for those forests. You got the LRM, SRM2. I like how the LRMs are split up so that you can attack. You can get multiple motive hits against targets. SRM-6, that's pretty good. And then 3 troops, so 3 squads, I'm assuming. I think it's a decent alternative, I think. Maxim 764, and how much is our Pegasus? 764 versus 640. I didn't think I would like the Pegasus, but I do actually really like the Pegasus. Just from like the name and the look. I didn't think I would like it that much, but I actually kind of do like it. I think the Maxim's decent. Decent troop carrier, yeah. Maxim, good. Harasser, troop taxi, solid hover frame. Yeah, decent armoring. I mean, you could definitely take it. I think this is definitely viable. Where would I put this? I would put the Goblin last, probably. Maybe... I might put it on the same level. Just as an initial, initial thought. Karn over Pegasus. Harrier's there. It is in the ISTW. Did I just forget to spell it right? Alright. ISTW non-box set. How come I don't have it? Let me reload this. I have the Harvester Ants, the Harasser, the Charger, the Harvester, Harpy. No Harrier. No Harrier here, Commander. Maybe we'll look at it. Maybe we can look at it from Megamech. Or from Sarna. The Harrier. Oh, it's a jump ship. I don't know. It's a jump ship. It doesn't even have stats. Is a 10-15 hover tank with large laser and SRM-6. Oh, okay. Well, if it's 10-15 hover tank, that's good speed. And then the large laser SRM-6 is like that pierce crit. It seems decent. I don't know why it's not loading. Have you looked at some aerospace? We skipped aerospace this time. We covered it kind of like earlier on. I just think it's a little... It's just too many opportunities for cheese. And it just like leads to a bunch of feel bad moments, I think. Which version do I have? I have 4.8, I think. I haven't updated it for a while. Maybe that's why. Only problem with the Pegasus is it lacks specific security for infantry. Dedicated seating and safety gear. The Saracen and Scimitar. We covered the Saracen and Scimitar. Large laser, SRM-6, medium laser, and 659 kph. Yeah. That seems decent as long as the armor is good. Are we staying in Secession Wars for suggestions? We can look at maybe a couple of ones outside Secession Wars. 4.9. Okay, I'm on 4.8. Aerospace rules are ugh. Yeah. Have I looked at the Brutus? We did look at the Brutus. The Drillson. The Drillson. We'll look at the Drillson. Oh, I think I saw this when I was looking at Yeah, I think I was looking at I saw this when I was looking at some like combined arms roleplay stuff. Okay, Drillson. 914, so quite quick. Decent armoring at 24.19. Large laser S2 SRM2s. Yeah. I think it follows that that thing we just keep harping on and keep looking at, but the Pierce Crit combo, large laser SRM2s, and it's got a LRM-10 too. Yeah, it's all around, seems all around decent, all around pretty balanced. Did anyone mention the Warrior VTOL? Never understood the weapon side on that. I think how I would use the Warrior VTOL is as a spotter. I would just buy the Warrior VTOL and use it just to spot for my LRMs. And then maybe later on I'm harassing some things. But with the AC2, I'm just kind of sitting in a corner. I would just sit it in the corner and just plink away at some other vehicles. And then spot for LRMs. The Kanga jump tank. You have my attention with jump tank. AC-10, LRM-10? Okay. I thought, when you said jump tank, I thought it would have a jump value. So you could death from above people. Doesn't look like it has a, it doesn't have a, turret. It's got an AC-10 and LRM-10, and then a machine gun. Seems decent. Seems okay. You are getting behind people a lot with that AC-10, so that's nice. You're probably hovering at medium range with the AC-10 and then just plugging people with the AC-10 LRM-10. It seems actually that seems disgusting. Yeah. The Starleague Kanga jumps? Oh, I see. There's an 8.12.6 version. That's silly. So this is a Starleague version. 8.12.6, and then an AC-5 and an SRM-4. That's pretty funny. Very cool. The jump tank. The Starleague Kanga, only Comstar has it. What does this look like? The Kanga 2B? It better not. Okay. I thought it would look sillier. The jump tank. 50-ton DFA. The Alicorn, says Catbox Video. The Alicorn. Ooh, there's a bunch of marks. Look at the Mark 3. 3 AC-10s. 83 front arm. Oh, God. Oh, no. The Alicorn Mark 3. Look at that front armor. Look at that 83 front armor. And enough ammo to just run that thing for days. 3 AC-10s, very cool. There's one with AC-20s. Okay, very cool. There's one with Gauss rifles. The Starleague Alicorn, okay. Gauss rifles or AC-20s? Endlessly mash the fire button. Yep. The Saladin is an AC-20 strap delivery. Yes, we did look at the Saladin. I believe we gave it 5 cheeses out of 5. Yes. The Gauss tank, the long-range delete button. Yep. Okay. I think overall, the thing I was most impressed by was the Pegasus, which I didn't think I would be. I think the Saladin was very cheesy, now that I got a chance to look at it. I think some interesting things can be done with the LRM carrier, but you have to be careful not to run too many of them. I thought the SRM carrier was a hoot. Shrek PPC carrier, not bad. Manticore, I think I like the Manticore as a standard tank. What else did I like? I thought the Patton was okay. And then the Demolisher was pretty cheese. But fun. All that ammo for an entire campaign, yes. Have I covered the Poe? The Poe? Alright, we'll do the Poe as the last mech. The Poe heavy tank. Okay. Okay. The Poe. The PO. AC-10, 2 machine guns. Pretty standard stuff. Doesn't seem terribly inspiring. I don't think anything's really making it special. It's an AC-10 with as a main gun and then just 2 machine guns for mop-up. Solid armor, though. 4.6? Yeah. Bulldog. We did cover the Bulldog. I think if I had to choose between the Bulldog, I would probably choose the Manticore over the Bulldog. But I think the Bulldog's okay. Yep. Alrighty, chat. I think that's it for this stream. I gotta go and do some more stuff. Gotta do some stuff. But I'll see you next time. I will schedule another time for us to hang out. I think the next one I want to do is probably a painting stream. I want to get back to painting some mechy boys, and then maybe we'll play some video game too. Yep. But I'll see you later, chat. Thanks for hanging out. It's been almost 3 hours. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. I'll see you later. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.